you have a lot of time on your hands to delve so deeply to delve so deeply into what this means for Salesforce. And when it was all said and done, I thought reading your notes, I thought you thought it was a great deal. However, Citi, just to let you know, downgraded, saying we're not fans of the Slack deal. We think that Salesforce needed to buy this did not need to buy this asset, especially with already high customer overlap and the landscape in this space where Microsoft Teams is basically becoming ubiquitous. Is it a good deal or not, Henry?
From my perspective, it was very smart for Slack. Slack was not seeing the kind of adoption that it should have seen if it was going to take over the world. This is a viral product. We're in a work-from-home environment. They should have seen the same kind of boom that Zoom and so many others saw as everybody shifted and said, look, we've got to develop virtual presence. They did not see that. In fact, the business is slowing down. And Teams, Microsoft's giving it away for free. That helps a lot. Huge adoption there. So I think from Slack's perspective, it's very smart. You get a big partner. Maybe that will help recharge things. From Salesforce's perspective, I hear what Mark is talking about and what the vision is. I think we got to wait and see on that as to whether they actually can integrate the products in a way that makes people feel like they've got to adopt and build on the platform. So far, we use Slack. We were one of the early adopters. It's a tremendous product. It totally changes things, but it's internal. And what Mark is talking about is external. Everybody in the world is using it to communicate among themselves. Slack hasn't made that jump yet, at least for us. And so that's going to be a key part of it for Salesforce.
I mean, Henry, does the strategy look better in a pandemic world, or is this going to sustain itself when we come out of this? I mean, is all this messing, all this? Yeah, go ahead.
I think the Slack product is absolutely going to continue to grow in a non-pandemic world. And when I say that, whether it's Teams or whether it's Slack or somebody else, it is extremely useful. And what Mark was talking about with Jim last night is we are going to shift to a world, even post-pandemic, where you are physically when you're working is going to be much less important. And yet you can be present on an app like this for your colleagues and you can interact with them. I think that has changed forever. And I think a product like Slack is going to be critical for that. But Teams does that. Others do that. And again, this is both Salesforce and Slack saying, wow, this is becoming a waltz of elephants. We need to put ourselves together. Salesforce had tried to develop products that do things like this, hasn't been successful. So this is a good way to do it for them. But I do think the jury's out. I mean, this is not, Slack's momentum really has stalled in a period where it should have just exploded.
So, Henry, longer term, do you see Slack as a giveaway, almost a freebie that Salesforce uses to gain new customers? Do you see it as something where it's going to be a big revenue driver for a Salesforce in the future because they're going to be able to upsell their current customers to it? When you sort of look at the strategy, what are you thinking?
To make it work, they have to have it be adopted and have everyone standardize on it. And that will give them a very strong installed base that will be tough to dislodge. So I think actually the making this a platform that everybody adopts is more important than the near-term revenue, although obviously a lot of the financial analysts are very worried about that because this was a big price they paid. So my guess is they will try to balance those, but in order for this to work, they have to create the product that Mark had the vision for when he talked about with Jim last night, which is the front end for everything. Right now, that is other products out there.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.